everyone. Welcome to Melissa's Musing. I am Melissa Steele, real estate agent extraordinaire, and I am coming to you with Melissa's Musing today on a lovely Wednesday hump day. So as those of you are joining in, or if you're watching on the replay, thank you for always watching and supporting me and listening to my message. My hair's doing funky things today. Hi, Jessie. Thanks for watching. Jessie is going to be our featured friend this Friday, so stay tuned for that excitement. It's going to be fabulous. But today what we're talking about is I am responsible and pulling the plug on negativity. So recently I was listening to a book on tape, and I can't remember which one exactly, so I'm going to have to think about it and put it in the comments for you guys. I apologize that I cannot think of it offhand. But one of the concepts was so fascinating to me that I needed to talk about it here on Melissa's Musings, because basically what he talked about, and I think it's actually Get Smart is the book, I think. So what he talks about is actually in life, when we want to turn out a light, the absolute easiest way to do that and the most efficient way to do that is to pull the plug. Turn off the light and pull out the plug. And we're immediately cutting off the source of electricity, which is then in turn turning off the light. In our lives, we can actually do the same thing conceptually with negativity. We can immediately pull the plug on the negativity in our life by saying to ourselves and getting in the habit of saying to ourselves, I am responsible. So, for example, this past week, you guys may have noticed, I was not present in Musings because I was feeling under the weather. So, instead of being in a total victim story and having one of these conversations, I'll just walk you through it. Why me? Sick again for the third time this year. I always get sick around the start of the new year. I feel so drained. Everyone that I come in contact with gets to know that I'm sick because I like to just display my negativity all over everyone I come in contact with. I'm not feeling well. Meh. Or, and we do often feel that way when we're sick, so I'm not discounting feeling sick, but I could also approach that story in a totally different way by taking responsibility and ownership, not allowing any victim story to even be written. Basically, having it sound more like this. I'm sick. Crap. I'm responsible. How might I have taken better care of myself? Maybe I should have gotten more sleep. Definitely should have gotten more sleep. Probably should have eaten at better meal times. Maybe taken better care of myself. I'm responsible for being sick. No victim story. So when we train our brain to be responsive with an I am responsible type of response, it can shed so much light on our victim conversations. It can totally shift our negativity conversations into a positive way, and it will immediately put things into perspective for you in terms of that victim story, because we are human beings, as I talk about all the time, we are programmed this way, and we get to shift it. So in shifting, we get to take full ownership and responsibility of everything that's ever happened to us, period. And yeah, shit happens, but what was our contribution to it? How are we responsible? And how are we responsibly going to show up from now on? So this literally applies to every aspect of your life, and I have been really trying my best at applying it to my life, and it's been doing wonders for me, because when we take ownership and responsibility of what's going on in our lives, there is no one to point the finger at, no one else to blame, no BS story, no victim mentality. We simply get to take ownership of our own involvement in whatever shitstorm is going on, and we get to face it head on and shift, and it can be a beautiful thing when we're open to it. So I encourage you, if you are struggling with anything in regards to kind of playing a martyr or a victim role, and maybe you are totally in it in one of your stories and it's like, get me out of this, try and figure out where you're responsible or where your responsibility lies within it. And of course, you know, this doesn't apply to every single aspect of life, but I can guarantee you that it will play into a majority of some of the things that you're struggling with. And when we have this mindset and we're programming our mind to kind of have this trigger response when something happens, whether it's good or bad, it can be really amazing and really impactful to the people around us too, because this works in a positive way too. If you take full responsibility for everything that happens in your life, both negative and positive and all the stuff in between, you are going to live a true life full of authenticity, ownership, and responsibility. And it's going to influence the people around you into being like, wow, that person's got their shit together. 2, wow, that person, doesn't point the finger or point blame when stuff doesn't go their way. And 3, look at the way that rock star performs in literally the way that they do everything. Because the way that you approach responsibility, along with the way that you approach anything, how you do one thing is how you do anything. So if this is an area that you're struggling with, you get to absolutely improve it and start to program your mind in an I am responsible type of method, instead of like maybe, and this used to be totally me before I started getting really involved in mindset practices, but something bad would happen and my first responder would be, why me? I'm so unlucky. We create our own luck, people. And our perspective does wonders on that. So that used to be my conversation, but recently, especially since hearing that, as I've had any news cross my desk, bad, good, ugly, smooth, whatever it looks like, if I approach it with an I am responsible type of mindset, it is amazing how that responsibility helps me to take ownership of whatever it is that's going on. So it could be something really awesome. We got 2 open escrows today. I am responsible. How did I make that work? How did I help guide my clients into getting into that escrow faster than maybe I have in the past? How can I learn from this amazing opportunity that's come across my desk today? Or, well, and actually, not even an or, and bad news. So what's some bad news I received today? I receive multitudes of bad and good news every day. Some bad news. One of our buyers chose that the property was not for her for no apparent reason. There was nothing wrong with the property, and she also decided to take 3 steps back after we've worked together for a year and a half. Instead of being like, ugh, I am totally in I am responsible mode. So with me being responsible, how may I have better guided her? How could I have better informed her so that she could have made this decision prior to getting into an escrow? How could I have been more responsible in my communication with her? How am I responsible for now her decision? And granted, her decision affects me, and I get to take total ownership of that too. I get to navigate from, okay, I'm responsible. I played a part in this. We get to cancel out this transaction. Perhaps I get to help her find another home in a few months when she's ready. But there's no victim story. There's no, you wouldn't believe the day I had a client backed at escrow. No, there's none of that crap. Because if I literally take ownership and responsibility for everything that I touch in this world, it tends to be pretty magical. So that's my message to you guys. Thank you so much for joining in. So many of you are watching. Mindy, Mary, Sean, Joseph, Roxanne. Hey guys. I love that you're watching. Thank you. And give me some love if you're out there. I love you guys. And I always appreciate you watching, and I always appreciate you hearing my message. So thank you so much for watching, as usual, on Melissa's Musings. Hello, my friends. Thanks for the love. And I will talk to you soon. Happy hump day. Bye.